Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the Milwaukee Braves traveling to Pittsburgh, take on the Pirates after just taking on the Phillies. See what they can do against this other Pennsylvania team. And let's take a look at the starting lineup here for July 21st, 1961 for the Milwaukee Braves. We got leading off playing center field, Mac Jones. Batting second, playing second is Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Lee May. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting ninth and doing the pitching for the Milwaukee Braves is Lou Burdette. And for the hometown Pittsburgh Pirates, let's take a look at their starting lineup. We got leading off playing left field, Joe Christopher. Batting second playing center field is Bill Vernon. Batting third playing right field is Roberto Clemente. Batting fourth playing first base is Dick Stewart. Batting fifth playing third base is Don Hoke. Batting sixth doing the catching is Smokey Burgess. Batting seventh playing second base is Bill Mazeroski. Batting eighth playing shortstop is Dick Schofield. And batting ninth and doing the pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Bob Friend. Let's get down here to the field in Pittsburgh and get this game started, folks. And here's the pitch from Bob Friend to Mac Jones. And that is going to be a ground ball down to, no, hold on, that's going to be a hit by pitch. Not the way the Pirates want to start this, hitting Mac Jones. Hey, Tim. So Mac is on at first with nobody out on a hit by pitch. They go out and take a look at him. He says everything's all right. So you got Frank Boland coming up here now. And Frank's hitting 296 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And he is going to spin and fire down the second. And that's going to get Jones down there as he throws that ball to Schofield. So now there's one out with Boland down at first for Eddie. And Eddie's hitting a cool 300 on the year here, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. And that's going to get Frank Boland down to third, folks, with one out here, the top of the first. And that brings up Henry Aaron. Runners on first and third. See if Henry can drive some runs in here. Henry is batting .316 on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Pirates will be playing back. And that's going to be over to Mazeroski. He tosses it over to Schofield, who fires it over the first. And that's a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning, folks. And the Braves lead 1-on. Go to the bottom of the first. Braves nothing. Pirates due up here. We got Christopher, Vernon, and Clemente due up here against Lou Burdette. Here's the pitch to Christopher. Christopher's hitting 250 on the year, and that's going to be a base hit in the center field. So Christopher gets on board here with a single. Nobody out. That brings up Bill Vernon. Vernon's hitting 252 on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Can Mac turn the double play over to Boland, over to Joe Adcock? That's a 6-4-3 double play, folks. How to clear the bases. Brings up Clemente now with nobody on. And Roberto's leading the National League in batting average with .350. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike one. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So he'll up that batting average a little bit. And how big is that double play now, folks? So Clemente down at first with 2 out for Dick Stewart. Dick Stewart's hitting 284 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So we go to the top of the second. It's 0-0, folks. We got Adcock, May, and Torrey due up here in the top of the second. Joe Adcock's hitting 274 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3 on Adcock. 1 down. Brings up Lee May now. And Lee, that's going to be a foul ball, strike 1. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Schofield at short. Over to Stewart, and that'll be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down here in the second. That leaves Joe Torrey to keep this inning going. Joe's hitting 246 on the year. And that's going to be a base hit now into the left field. Yep, base hit in the left field for Joe Torrey. So with 2 outs, Torrey's aboard. Brings up McMillan now. See if Mac can do something with 2 outs here. Mac's hitting 209 on the year. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field, and that'll get Joe Torrey down the third, folks. And with 2 outs, the Braves are making some noise, and that brings up the pitcher, Lou Burdette. But Lou Burdette is no slouch, folks. He is hitting 316 on the year. So can Lou do some damage here and get the Braves on the board and give himself a lead? Here's the pitch to Lou. And Lou swings and misses, strike 3. The Braves strand 2. We go to the bottom of the second. It's still a 0-0 game, folks. We got Hoke, Burgess, and Mazeroski due up here for the Pirates. Hoke is hitting 260 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3 for Don. Out number 1 here in the second. That brings up Smokey. Smokey's hitting a cool 308 on the season. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Lee May's out there today. He makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down for the Pirates. Brings up 1960s hero Mazeroski. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Adcock's got it. And the Pirates go 1, 2, 3 in the second. We go to the top of the third. We got the top of the order due up here for the Braves. We got Jones, Bolin, and Matthews. Mac was hit by the pitch his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Hoke. He fires over to first for out number 1. Brings up Frank Bolin now. Frank is 0 for 1. He reached on the fielder's choice his first time up. That's going to be a base on ball. So Frank's down at first. Gets on board for the big boys. Here's Eddie Matthews now. Eddie's 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be a 2-ball, no strike count on Eddie. Let's see if he can take advantage of this batter's count. And he walks the hard way, folks. And all of a sudden, Friends lost control. It's first and second now with 1 out again for Hammer and Hank. Hank hit into a double play his last time up, folks. Not this time. He squares this ball up against Bob Friend. And that ball is juiced out to right field. It's rolling around out there near the scoreboard, folks. Frank Bolin scores easily. Matthews rounding third. He'll score. And Hank Aaron is going to try for a triple, folks. And he's going to make it in there underneath the tag. And just like that, folks, it's 2-0 Braves. With Hammer and Hank down at third for Joe Adcock. The Pirates are going to bring the infield in, folks. Trying to cut this run off. Here's the pitch to Adcock. And that's going to be another hit by pitch. Bob Friend. No, wait a second. I ain't a hit by pitch. Let's look at the right result here. That's going to be a pick off. They get Aaron picked off at third, folks. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on. What a big move by Bob Friend there to pick Aaron off at third. Here's the pitch to Adcock, and he gets a hold of it. Of course he does, and that's going to be a double in the right field, folks. And that would have scored Aaron easily. Why he wasn't camped out on that base, I don't know. So now with 2 outs, Joe Adcock is down at second. Yeah, something had to give is right, sure. So we got Adcock down at second for Lee May. May's 0 for 1. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Braves score 2. Leave Joe Adcock down at second rather. We go to the bottom of the third. We got Schofield, Friend, and Christopher due up here for the Pirates. Here is Dick Schofield. He is 0 for... He's hitting 200 on the year, right above the Mendoza line. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So the Pirates get the lead runner aboard, folks, with nobody out. Bob Friend, see if he's going to bunt him down to second, folks. That's what he's going to try to do here. They put on the bunt. He's going to try to sacrifice him over. That's a foul ball, strike 1. And that's foul ball, strike 2. 0-2 count now on Friend. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 3. Friend strikes out the hard way in Apba with 3 rolls of the dice. And Schofield's still down at first. Friend unable to get the sacrifice down. And that'll bring up Christopher. He's 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lou. Brings up Bill Vernon now with 2 outs. Schofield down at first. And Vernon hit into a double play his first time up. And that's going to be hit down to short. He'll go over to second. Bowling covering, and that'll end the inning, folks. So the leadoff single doesn't hurt the Braves. We go to the top of the 4th. Milwaukee 2, Pirates nothing. Torrey, McMillan, and Burdette due up here in the 4th. Joe is 1 for 1 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3 to Torrey. 1 down here in the 4th. Here comes Mac. Mac's 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Bill Vernon's out there. Makes the catch for out number 2. Here comes Lou Burdette. And Lou is 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. And Schofield calls for it. Makes the catch. And 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We got the big boys due up here for Pittsburgh. Clemente, Stewart, and Hoke against Lou. Clemente got a single his first time up. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Clemente goes down on strikes. 1 down. Brings up Dick Stewart now. Stewart's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Eddie Matthews calls for it. Makes the play down there at third for out number 2. And here's Mr. Houck. And he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And he pops this ball straight up in the air. Again, Matthew comes in, takes charge, and makes the put out. 1, 2, 3 goes the Pirates. We go to the top of the 5th, and it'll be the top of the order due up here for the Braves. Jones, Bolin, and Matthews. Max 0 for 1 and got hit by a pitch, and that'll be ball 4. So Mac makes it down the first with a walk. Braves got the lead runner on again, folks. Here's Frank Bolin. And they're going to do a little bit of hit and run here, folks. Try to avoid the double play. The Braves don't do much hit and run, but they're going to try it here. So here we go. Let's get that runner moving. And believe it or not, folks, that's the third hit by pitch. Friend, the Braves are coming out of the dugout, folks. A lot of chatting, not much action. But they are happy. That is the third batter hit by pitch. First and second, and nobody out for Eddie Matthews. Maybe Eddie will do some talking with his bat here, drive some runs in and bust this game open after 3 of his fellow teammates have been hit. He's 1 for 1. He walked his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Pokes up with it, steps on the bag, fires over to Stewart, and that's a double play, folks. Frank Bolin will end up down at second, but now there's 2 outs for Hank Aaron. See if the hammer can come through. He's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI triple, as Beatles would say. Here's the pitch to Hammer and Hank. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Friend, after pissing the Braves off, gets the double play and a strikeout and gets out of the mess. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 2-0 Milwaukee. We got Burgess, Mazeroski, and Schofield due up here for the Pirates. And here's the pitch to Smokey. He's 0 for 1, flew out the left. But he nails this one, folks, and that ball is driven down the third baseline. May gets there after it hits off the wall, fires it back in. But Smokey standing down at second. Mazeroski with nobody out here in the 5th. And Bill is 0 for 1. He grounded out the first, his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Is that going to be deep enough to get Smokey over? No, not with catcher speed. They're not going to test Hank's arm with 1 out. So we got 1 out now with Schofield up. Burgess still down at second. Schofield got a single his first time up. And there goes Smokey Burgess taking off. I don't know what he's thinking. And that's an easy play down at third for Joe Torres. And Smokey gets thrown out trying to steal third, folks. So now 2 outs and Schofield up after not trying to advance on the sacrifice. What was he thinking? Trying to steal third. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Schofield. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Adcock's up with it. Calls off Lou. And Lou gets out of the leadoff double with nobody scoring, folks. We go to the 6th inning. We got Adcock, May, and Torrey due up here against Bob Friend. Adcock's 1 for 2 with a double and struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Joe trots on down to first. Again, the Braves get the lead runner on, folks. See if they can cash it in this time. Here's Lee May, 0 for 2, grounded out the short and struck out. And that's going to be a pop-up behind home plate. Smokey's got it for out number 1. That brings up Joe Torre now. See if Joe can do something with Adcock down at first. See if the Joe and Joe show works. And he's 1 for 2. He singled in the second, struck out in the 4th. And that's a strikeout. So that's back-to-back at bats for striking out, Joe does. So now there's 2 outs. It's up to McMillan here to cash in on that lead walk. Mack is 1 for 2. Can he do it here, folks? And no, he can't. That's a fly ball in the right field. Clemente's got that. And the Braves strand Joe Adcock. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Braves are hanging on to a 2-0 lead. We got Friend, Christopher, and Vernon due up here for the Pirates. And Bob is 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. And he's going to get a single in the right field, folks, off of Lou, because we don't need no stinking DH. So, friends aboard here with nobody out for Christopher. Christopher's 1 for 2, singled his first time up and struck out in the third. Lou's trying to get a double play ball here off of Christopher. And that's a pop up in the infield. And who's taking charge of this? McMillan is. He makes the catch for out number 1. That brings up Bill Vernon now. Bill is 0 for 2, hitting to a double play and reached on a fielder's choice. But he gets a hold of this one off of Lou, folks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone, gone, gone. He goes the opposite way to left field, folks. And this game is tied up at 2 apiece, just like that. That brings up Clemente now with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch to Clemente. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. Easy play for Eddie. That's 2 outs. That brings up Dick Stewart now. Here's the pitch to Dick. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Frank Bowen muffs it. That's an E4, folks. And that gives the Pirates an extra out here in the 6th. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Stewart down at first, not much speed. Houck's up 0 for 2, struck out and popped up the third. And that's a base hit, folks. And to right field. And even with Dick Stewart's speed, he'll make it down the third with 2 outs. So we got first and to go back. I think I just scored Stewart from first. Yes, I did. I thought I hit the wrong button. I wanted him to go to third, not go 3 bases. So there we go. He'll stop at third this time. So we got first and third. 2 outs now for Smokey Burgess. Smokey's 1 for 2 with a double. And that's going to be a balk, folks. And that is going to balk in a go-ahead run. PK for balk. So now we got a runner down at second, and the Pirates are up 3 to 2. And Smokey's still up with 1 ball, no strikes on him. And he gets a hold of this, folks, and he drives that ball into the gap in left field, and that'll score a hoke. And the big air comes back to bite the Braves in the butt here, folks. 2 runs have scored now after this error. And just like that, it is 4 to 2 Pirates. And Mazeroski's up now. Oh, man is right. Here's Maz. He's 0 for 2. And this game is getting worse by the pitch. Maz squares it up. He drives that ball into right field. And that'll score Smokey even with his slow speed. And just like this game's getting out of hand, folks. It is now 5 to 2. Braves were up 2 to 0 going into the bottom of the 6th. Schofield's up now with Maz down at first. And that'll finally end the inning. That's a strike 3. But the Pirates score 5 and take a 5 to 2 lead, folks. And that'll be it probably for Lou. He's due to lead off the inning. I have a pitch hitter for Burdette. See who's going to come out here and pitch hit. I think Al Spangler's going to pitch hit. Yep. See what Al can do. Try to get some runners on here and get those runs back, folks. Lou was cruising along, pitching a shutout, and the wheels came off the cart. All righty, nobody on, no outs here for Al Spangler. Al's hitting .333 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. That'll be out number 1 here in the 7th. That brings up Mac Jones now. See if Mac can get on board here for the big boys and get some runs back. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. And that's a pop-up behind home plate. Burgess has got that for an easy second out. And that brings up Frank Bolin now. See if Frank can get on board for Matthews. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and scored. And that's going to be a base hit, I believe. Now that ball is hit down the third. Hook up with it. Fires it over to first, and it bounces, folks. Stewart keeps it in front of him, but Frank Bolin's going to be safe. Let's see if the Braves can take advantage of this extra out here, just like the Pirates did. Here's Eddie Matthews, 1 for 2 with a walk and scored. Can he make the Pirates pay for that error? Here's the pitch. And no, he can't, folks. That ball is hit down the second. Maz is up with it. He'll fire over to Schofield covering second. And the Braves leave Bolin down at first. We go to the 7th inning stretch. And Don Noteberg's going to come in here and pitch for the Braves. We got Bob Friend who up to lead off the inning. All righty, it'll be Friend followed by Christopher and Vernon. Don trying to keep this a 3-run game. Bob is 1 for 2 and scored. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Bob goes down on strikes. 1 out. Brings up Christopher now. He's 1 for 3. See if Don can get him out of here. No, he can't, folks. Christopher gets a lot of wood on this one and drives that into the gap off the base of the wall. Christopher standing down at second with a double with 1 out. Brings up Bill Vernon now. And Bill's 1 for 3 with that home run. Let's see what happens this time, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Can Matthews turn? No, that's not a ground ball down the third. Sorry, that's a swing and a miss. Bill Vernon goes down on strikes. 2 outs now here in the 7th. Brings up Clemente. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the first, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So not Noteberg strands Christopher down at second. We go to the top of the 8th. Braves down by 3, but they got the big boys coming up here against Friend, Aaron, Adcock, and May. Here's the pitch to Hank. He's 1 for 3 with that 2 RBI triple. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. So Hank gets aboard here, folks. With a leadoff single. Need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run up to the plate. And this is Joe Adcock. He's 1 for 2 with a double and walked. And that's not what they wanted. That ball is hit down the second. Maz has got it over to Schofield, over to Stewart, and that's a 4-6-3 double play, folks. Now 2 outs for Lee May. May's 0 for 3. He's grounded out, struck out, and popped up to the catcher. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Stewart's got it. And that is it for the Braves in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We got Stewart, Hook, and Burgess due up here for the Pirates. Here's Dick Stewart. He's 0 for 3. Reached on an error and scored his last time up. And that is going to be well hit. He tees off on this one, folks, and that ball is hit into left field. It's rolling around out there again, just like Hammer and Hanks, and that's going to be a triple for Dick Stewart. How about that? First baseman putting on the speed. He's huffing and puffing like the little engine it could, but he's in there safe. And that'll make the Braves bring the infield in here for Houck. He's 1 for 3. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And Matthews looks the runner back, fires down the first for out number 1. So 1 out now. Stewart still down at third for Burgess. Here's Smokey, and he's 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. The Braves will keep the infield in, and that is hit back to the mound, I believe. Yes, it is. And Don looks the runner back at third. And just like that, there's 2 outs now with Stewart still down at third. Hopefully Don can get through this mess. Here's Mazeroski. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. And no, he can't, because Maz squares this one up. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And Aaron comes up, fires it in. And just like that, the Pirates add to the 5-2 lead. It's 6-2 now, folks. Brings up Schofield with Maz down at second with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Schofield. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. No, that's just a high pop up to second. Frank Boland's got it, but not until the Pirates add 1 and take a 6-2 lead as we go to the top of the 9th. Bob Friend trying to get the complete game here, folks. Torrey McMillan, and then a pitch hitter for Don. Here's the pitch to Joe. He's a 1 for 3. And that's a ground ball down the Schofield. That'll be out number 1 here in the 9th. Brings up McMillan now. Can Mac get aboard here? And yes, he can, folks. Mac drives that ball in the left field, turned on it. Christopher gets over and cuts it off, keeps it to a single. Now we'll have a pitch hitter here for Noteberg. And see who's going to come out here and pitch hit. Need 1 more batter to get the time. No, we need 2 more since they scored that run. Gino's going to come out here and pitch hit. See if he can get aboard here. Here's Gino. One out. McMillan down at first. Gino's hitting 203 on the year. Let's see if he can come through with a big pitch hit here. And he does, folks. He drives that ball into center field, and all of a sudden, Bob Friend's having a little bit of problems. And with being down by 4, Mac will stop at second with 1 out. So now we got first and second. Mac Jones is up. And the Pirates may be going to the bullpen to bring in a lefty here. See who they got out here. And they got Wilmer. He's going to come in here and pitch to the lefty. With 1 out here. Okay, first and second one out here now for Mac the Knife. Do we want to pitch it for him? We might go with Frank Thomas. That's what the Braves are going to do. The Braves are going to go to Frank Thomas here, folks. I'm going to bring in the righty here. See if Frank can get aboard here and keep this rally going. So Frank comes in. And that'll probably mean that May will go to right field if they tie this game up. Aaron will go to center, and Frank will stay in the game and play left. But first, they got to tie this game up, folks. So here's the pitch to Frank Thomas. And that ball is well hit, folks. That ball is out in right field, bullpen rolling around. And that's a triple for Frank Thomas. 3 triples in this game, folks. Unbelievable. How about that? So all of a sudden now with 1 out, Frank Thomas down at third. And it's a 6-4 ball game, folks. They're going to let Mez stay in here and pitch the Bolin and then the Matthews. So here we go. The Pirates will play the infield back. That run down at third don't mean nothing. So here's Frank Bolin. Can he keep this rally going, folks? Frank's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. That might be deep enough to get Frank in. We'll see. And Frank's going to score on the sacrifice fly. So all of a sudden, it's a 1-run game, folks. And here comes Eddie. It's up to Matthews to keep this game alive. Mez is going to stay in and pitch to the left-hander. Bob Face is warming up in the bullpen. If Matthews gets aboard here. So this will be Mez's last batter no matter what. Can Eddie keep this game going? He's 1 for 3 with a walk. And no, that's a ground ball down to Dick Stewart. He'll take it himself. The Braves make a gallant try, folks, but come up 1 run short. That's a big 8th inning run. And lose this game 6-5. Let's take a look at the box score. Sure, the Braves showed some heart, but heart don't win the game. And the Braves 5 runs on 9 hits and a big error. Don't forget that error. Sure, we'll look at the pitching line. I know 3 or 4 of those 6 runs was unearned. The Pirates 6 runs on 12 hits and an error, and their error was pretty big too. You had old Hammer and Hank 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a triple. Joe Adcock with a triple. Sure. The Braves left 7 men on base. Christopher 2 for 4. And then Burgess and Mazeroski 2 for 4. Both of them with RBIs. Maz with the 2-run RBI. Bill Vernon with the home run. And the Pirates left 5 on. Poor Lou Burdette. 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of them earned, folks. Struck out 6, gave up the home run. Notebart came in, 2 innings, 3 hits, gave up that big run in the 8th, and struck out 3. Bob Friend, 8 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, walked 4, struck out 6. And Mez came in 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, 1 run. Barely hung on for the save. I don't know if he deserved a save there. Oh, thank you, Tim. I thought it was a great game. I was hoping the Braves would come back here with a nice 9th inning rally. We only got two other games here in the National League. We got the Cubs going to Philadelphia, take on the Phillies. See what happens here in Philadelphia. And the Phillies beat the Cubbies. The Cubbies 4 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Phillies 8 runs on 12 hits and an error. And the last game in the National League and the last game for July 21st is the Dodgers traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. And the Cardinals win a close one. The Dodgers 2 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. And the Cardinals 3 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. And it might have been a walk-off home run by Boyer. Let's take a look here, folks. 10th inning, I bet you it was a walk-off home run by Boyer. Let's take a look here in the 10th. Nope. Home run was in the 6th. 2-run homer. You had a single, a ground ball, and then back-to-back singles to drive in the winning run. I thought old Ken hit a home run to win this game. Alrighty, folks, let's take a look at the standings here after July 21st. And the Braves lose a half a game to the Giants. They're only 2 games up on the Giants now. The Reds are 7.5 games back. Cardinals are now 8 games back. Dodgers 11.5. Cubbies 13. Pirates are 15.5 back. And the Phillies are now 26.5 games back, folks. I want to thank Tim D for stopping by here this afternoon, taking in the game. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out of Pennsylvania, old Pittsburgh, crossing all them bridges, hit that like button and leave a comment. It all depends on what's going on tonight, whether we'll be back on. I think the Yankees are still taking on the Red Sox would be the next game. Let's look. Oh, thank you, Tim. You're welcome, bud. Yeah, I believe it's it's Sheldon against Stoddard up in Boston. Then we got another good game here with the Pirates. Warren Spahn against Schultz. So we'll see. I think Steve Tate's supposed to be on with some Howie Shanks bingo league playoff game. So until next time, you all have a great day and a great evening, and you all take care.